In the previous episode, we talked about the emergent AI Jesus and what it could potentially become. The biblical episode was 1 Samuel 28 and was the scripture that we used for that episode. If you remember, King Saul asked, but he did not get any answers from God through the appropriated means, and then he believes he could connect with the already dead people, a prohibited practice. We saw that was not the only instance he lost patience, but many others more to get his will at all cost. Waiting was the antidote to his problem. We are not so different from his proclivity. The conclusion we derived from that episode was that consulting a medium was against God's will. So, would AI Jesus fall into the category of modern medium or modern spiritualism? This episode addresses this question, which was originated by the previous one. But an essential question is what a medium is. You see, the dictionary defines, Merriam Webster defines it as a means of communication, a mechanism that we communicate with a different or far reality through that mean. So, and it is from this same word that we have the word media. For example, through a TV, I can see and connect with what is happening worldwide, to which I do not have physical access. That's not so different from what the Bible presents, the same concept. Consulting a medium was a way to communicate with deceased people, as it is with Saul's case, to gain knowledge, advice, or for comfort when someone missed a loved one. If we apply the same principle here to the AI Jesus, we can see that it fits the criteria. First of all, and for that particular app, historical figures, which by the way is back to the app stores, it considers Jesus as a historical figure, which is a different way to say a deceased person from the past. I acknowledge other apps include living people as well, which was not the case with this particular app, historical figures. Similar to this app might be others already existent or in development. And the second, the app would be the medium through which one could connect themselves with Jesus or AI Jesus. And on a fundamental level, it is the same thing. They fit the criteria of a medium. And finally, recent usage of this technology has led many to enter their voices data to their of their deceased ones in chat bots to enable others to have a conversation with themselves or with their deceased loved ones. For example, there is that influencer who did that, create an AI girlfriend and ask $1 per minute if you wanted to have her as a AI girlfriend or as a girlfriend. That's a profitable business for a lonely society. But most intriguing is people using AI chatbots to connect with deceased people. In other words, a similar approach of the historical figures app. Therefore, AI Jesus could be considered modern spiritualism or spiritism. You see, similarly to Saul, we should not look for God's answers through those means. Deuteronomy 18:9 to 14 says, when you enter the land which the Lord your God gives you, you shall not learn to imitate the detestable things of those nations. This shall not be found among you anyone who makes his son or his daughter pass through the fire, one who uses divination, one who practices witchcraft, or one who interprets omens, or a sorcerer, or one who casts a spell, or a medium, or a spiritist, or one who calls up the dead. For whoever does these things is detestable to the Lord, and because of these detestable things, the Lord your God will drive them out before you. You shall be blameless before the Lord your God. For these nations which you shall dispossess, listen to those who practice witchcraft and to diviners. But as for you, the Lord your God has not allowed you to do so. We need to be reminded that some of the developers voiced that their programs or those chatbots make stuff up. In addition to that, the AI personification concerns me. See, AI could be a powerful tool to engage the already available literature in ways not possible previously, not possible before. For example, the development of writing and the material to write allowed the disciple of Jesus to report and share the accounts of Jesus with us. Centuries later, the press was invented, and those body of literature became more available at the hands of individuals and libraries. So navigating through the body of literature was a time-consuming task. However, with the introduction of digitalization, the same content can be available in a blink of an eye, and it is searchable for less time than before. It's solved a nightmare for those working in libraries. Nowadays, we have software such as Accordance, which you know changes how we interact with the biblical text and search it. As technology developed, new ways of interacting with the corpus of literature increased. So, if the tools focus on interaction with the already available corpus of data without personification, it would not meet the criteria established above. But since those tools are still developing, we must follow up and see what this AI Jesus finally becomes. A medium or an interface tool to replace how we interact with the biblical text. Ultimately, if we are not careful, it will become a medium. And this discussion is to raise awareness. And that's where the fear about AI comes in, because of the concern still exists and depends on how one uses it. That is the topic for our next episode.